Good morning students. In today's class we are going to see the numerical based solution to the wave propagation equation in a good conducting medium. So in this we are going to see the concept of phase constant, phase velocity, attenuation constant, propagation constant, and using those constant how we are going to extract the concept for the skin depth. So what is the percentage of skin depth in a good conducting medium, that we are going to see in this particular video. First, solution to wave propagation equation in a good conducting medium. First, we will consider a plain electromagnetic wave traveling in a linear dielectric medium such as air along z-axis direction and being incident at the conducting surface. Here, the electromagnetic wave can either be propagated along your x-axis direction or y-axis direction or z-axis direction. Suppose if this is going to be my electromagnetic wave propagated in x-axis, I wanted to write here it is along your x-axis. Suppose I am going to propagate my electromagnetic wave along my y-axis, then I have to say here the wave is propagated in your y-axis direction. Similarly, if I am going to propagate the wave along z-axis direction, then here the medium is the wave is propagated in z-axis direction. But whatever may be the direction of propagation, your electric field and magnetic field intensity is going to be orthogonal, and the direction of your electric field intensity is going to be perpendicular to the direction of your magnetic field. Now you can see here the medium will be taken to be a linear medium, so that one can describe the electrodynamics using only the E and H vector. So only E and H vector you can describe the electrodynamic equation between E and H, that is Poynting theorem, where S is equal to E cross H. You can define the value of E and H to describe your electrodynamics equation and also the Poynting vector, and for this the medium has to be linear. Here the wave is propagated and it is incident on the conducting surfaces. Now we wanted to identify what is the propagation of the wave in a conducting medium. Now consider a pair of your curl equation, that is curl H is equal to J plus dou D divided by dou T, and one more is curl E is equal to minus dou B divided by dou T. So these two equations, the two equation is going to be curl E is equal to dou B divided by dou T. This is your Maxwell's second equation in electrostatics. Similarly, Maxwell's second equation in magnetostatics can be written as curl H is equal to J plus dou D divided by dou T. And this is your Maxwell's equation, that is Maxwell's second equation in magnetostatics. Now we wanted to consider the Maxwell's equation having curl. So in this, the first equation what we are going to consider is curl E is equal to minus dou B by dou T, which is equal to minus mu dou H divided by dou T. And the second equation is curl H is equal to J plus dou D divided by dou T. It is the original equation, that is curl H is equal to J plus dou D divided by dou T. J is your conduction current and dou D by dou T is your displacement current. The relationship between D and E is D is equal to epsilon into E. So when you write it here, you will get curl H is equal to J plus dou by dou T. In the place of D, you need to write it as epsilon into E. And this equation, when you expand and write it, you will be getting sigma into E plus sigma into E, it is nothing but your conduction current density, which is nothing but the modified form of your Ohm's law, and it is your displacement current density. So these two curl equations we have taken into account for deriving the expression for the solution of your wave propagation equation. Now let us consider the value of E, H and K, and you consider it is going to be along your x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So now we'll have it curl E in place of y, because the direction of the wave is propagated along your z-axis. So when the wave is propagated along your z-axis, the wave propagation equation is written as dou Ex divided by dou Z, which is equal to, I am going to consider the electric field intensity along y-axis direction and magnetic field intensity along x-axis direction. In case if I am going to consider the electric field intensity along y-axis direction, we can write curl E of y is equal to dou Ex by dou Z. It is the part that represents the wave propagation along your z-axis in a linear medium, and it is the value, that is curl E along your y-axis equal to wave propagated along your z-axis, which is equal to mu. H is your magnetic field intensity along y-axis direction. Simplifying this, we will be getting dou Ex by dou Z plus mu into dou Hy by dou T. So from this part, if you are writing, you will be getting it is equal to 0. Now curl H. Similarly, we need to apply curl H is equal to J plus dou D divided by dou T. In this also we have to identify the value of your magnetic field intensity. So the value of your magnetic field intensity along your x-axis is equal to, because when you are going to propagate, you consider this is going to be your y-axis, it is your z-axis, and here it is your x-axis. The wave is propagated along z-axis. When the wave is propagated, the other two fields are going to be orthogonal, where the electric field is assumed to be on your y-axis, and perpendicular to this, the magnetic field is assumed. But like both the fields, both your electric field and magnetic field are going to be orthogonal for the wave propagated in a linear medium. Therefore, we can identify the value of magnetic field intensity along your x-axis as sigma Ex plus epsilon dou Ex divided by dou T. It is nothing but the magnetic field intensity with respect to your wave propagation on your z-axis in a linear medium. We'll get dou Hy by dou Z. From this equation, we are going to frame the complete equation as dou Hy by dou Z plus sigma into Ex plus epsilon into dou Ex by dou T is equal to 0. So we'll take the time variation to be harmonics. When you are going to consider the field is going to vary, harmonically varying field or sinusoidally varying field, you can write it as e to the power of j omega t. Therefore, the time derivative is equal to the multiplication of your j omega. Therefore, the equation 1 and 2, that is from curl we identified the equation by for a magnetic field intensity and electric field intensity with respect to the wave propagation, right? That can be written as dou Ex by dou Z plus j mu omega Hy is equal to 0. Similarly, the equation dou Hy by dou Z sigma Ex, and it is going to be with respect to your Ex. In terms of harmonically varying field, if you write it, we can write it as j omega or I omega epsilon into Ex. Now, simplifying this equation, we can get the equation as dou square Ex divided by dou Z square plus I mu omega dou Hy is equal to dou square Ex divided by dou Z square, and this Hy we can write it otherwise this is equal to this, like modified form of your Ampere's law, and you are going to equating the two Maxwell's equation, that is Maxwell's second equation of your electrostatics with the Maxwell's second equation of your magnetostatics. When you write it, the expression is obtained as shown over here. Then your constant, that is attenuation constant gamma square, from this you can write the gamma square is equal to I mu omega sigma plus I omega epsilon. In terms, we can write it as dou square Ex divided by dou Z square is minus gamma square into Ex is equal to 0. For this, if we identify the roots of this quadratic equation, we'll be obtaining the same for magnetic field intensity also. Here we'll get Ex and Hy. Ex is equal to A hyperbolic term of your cos term into gamma x plus B sin h gamma x. Similarly, if we write the value for your magnetic field intensity, we'll get C cos h gamma x plus D sin h gamma x, where A, B, C, D are going to be the constant that is to be determined. And here at if the value of your electric field at Z is equal to 0, if you are going to assume, then the initial value of your electric field intensity is going to be E naught in this equation. And if Z is equal to 0, then the initial value of your magnetic field intensity will be H naught. Therefore, you can substitute the value of A as E naught and C as H naught. Why? Because here if the electric field at Z is equal to 0 means A and C constant is A constant is going to be E naught and C constant is going to be H naught. Now we need to identify the parameter B and D. So to identify the value of the parameter B and D, it is also going to be the constant. Now we have to go on with the first order differential equation, like dou Ex by dou Z plus I mu omega Hy is equal to 0. Dou Hy by dou Z plus sigma Ex plus I omega epsilon Ex is equal to 0. From this equation, we can identify the value of, substituting over here, we can identify the value of B and D. So when you, after this, you will get the value of B and D as, it is E naught is your A value, H naught is going to be your C value. From solving these two equations, you will get the value of D as minus gamma divided by I omega mu, and the same value and the value of your B is written as, D. Again you have to simplify. We know that gamma is equal to root of I mu omega sigma plus I omega epsilon divided by I omega mu. So after simplifying, we got minus E naught divided by eta. So this eta is nothing but intrinsic impedance. This intrinsic impedance eta is equal to, you can identify the value of eta is equal to root of epsilon divided by mu. If you substitute the value of epsilon and mu, we'll get the constant. For a free space, it will be 377 will be obtaining. So eta is equal to intrinsic impedance. Now we can obtain the value of B by substituting it to the original equation. We'll get minus eta into H naught. Therefore, our solution for E and H is going to be Ex Hy in the place of A and C, E naught and H naught. In the place of B and D, the value obtained is minus eta into H naught minus E naught divided by eta. Eta is going to be your intrinsic impedance. Now we are going to see the wave propagation in z-axis. Now we can evaluate the field when the wave has reached z is equal to L. So Ex is equal to E naught. Substituting the values of A, B, C, D, we have got the value of your magnetic field and electric field intensity equation as shown over here. Now here we wanted to see the concept of your skin depth. So after solving, here we have got the electric field and magnetic field intensity equation as shown over here. The concept of your characteristics impedance, this eta, intrinsic impedance eta, can be written as Ex divided by Hy. For a good conducting medium, it is going to be root of I omega mu divided by sigma plus I omega epsilon. In the same way, if your conductivity sigma is going to be 0, we can identify, we can go, I omega will get cancelled. So the value of your intrinsic impedance or the characteristics impedance, you will get it as eta is equal to mu divided by epsilon. So where mu is nothing but mu naught into mu r, and epsilon is going to be epsilon naught into epsilon r. Likewise, you can substitute the value of mu naught mu r, epsilon naught epsilon r, and we can identify the value of the characteristics impedance. When you identify, here you will be getting the value of the constant mu is equal to mu naught, which is 4 pi into 10 to the power of minus 7. For epsilon naught, 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 2. When you identify, we will be getting the value of the characteristics impedances as 377. So when you see the characteristics impedance, it is having the dimension of the resistance. So we are going to represent it with the unit called ohm. In the similar manner, we can identify the value of your propagation constant and attenuation constant. Suppose if you are going to assume this for the three-dimensional equation, here you have to assume your wave propagation equation, Maxwell's equation in second equation in electrostatics and Maxwell's second equation in magnetostatics. First, you need to take curl on both sides for both the equation. When you do so, after deriving, we will get the equation of your expression for the propagation in the conductor as E is equal to E naught e to the power of j omega t, and here in the place of I, kr minus omega t. So that the above equation is going to be k square into E vector, which is equal to I into omega mu sigma plus omega square mu epsilon into E vector. Like here, when you start with the first step, substituting one over the other, the derivation or the solution will come as such. So here we can identify the value of the constant. This is your complex propagation constant. K is equal to root of omega mu omega epsilon plus I into delta. So our K is nothing but your complex, and its real and imaginary part can be separated by the standard algebra. Because when you are going to consider a wave, it is going to have both your real wave as well as your imaginary wave, incident wave and reflected wave. The value of the propagation constant, we can write it as, say, alpha is equal to root of omega mu sigma divided by 2. This is for a sigma by omega epsilon is going to be the loss tangent, and for a loss tangent it should be greater than 10 for a good conductor, and it should be less than or equal to 1 divided by 10 in case of your dielectric medium. The speed of your electromagnetic wave, velocity V, can be obtained as omega divided by beta, where beta is nothing but your phase constant, omega is nothing but your angular velocity. From this, if you identify the value of your skin depth, you can see here the electric field amplitude diminishes with the distance. So as your distance is going to get increased, your electric field will get diminished. Therefore, the distance to which the field penetrates before its amplitude diminishes to be the factor is known as skin depth. So skin depth is defined as delta is equal to 1 divided by alpha. Alpha is nothing but your attenuation constant, which is equal to root of 2 divided by omega into mu sigma. Like when your field is going to be 0. As your distance is increased, your field get vanished, right? That time your skin depth value is going to be root of 2 divided by omega mu into epsilon. So from this you can see here the wave does not penetrate much inside the conductor. Therefore, consider your magnetic wave of frequency 1 MHz for copper, which has the conductivity. So this is just an example where the frequency is going to be 1 MHz and the conductivity sigma is going to be 6 into 10 to the power of 7. So substituting these two values over here, we will be getting the skin depth in copper to be 0.067 mm. Now you compare the same thing with the seawater. So for seawater, it is having a salinity, and therefore the salinity is about 25 centimeter, while in case of your fresh water it is going to be 7 meter. So because of small skin depth in a conductor, any current that rises in the metal because of the electromagnetic wave is confined within a layer of the surface. Now we need to identify the reflection coefficient and transmission coefficient. Here we are going to have the wave incidented along your z-axis direction in a linear medium, and it is going to be incidented in a conducting part. As that, we can consider no current densities is going to exist anywhere. Now the continuity of your electric and magnetic field. So when you are taking any electromagnetic application, it is going to have both incident wave as well as your reflected wave. That is your total transmitted wave. So your total electric field transmitted will be incident electric field intensity plus reflected electric field intensity. So it is nothing but the wave propagation equation for your electric field intensity. Similarly, Ht is equal to Hi plus Hr, which is nothing but transmitted magnetic field intensity is going to be incident magnetic field intensity plus reflected wave. In a wave, both incident and reflected wave needs to be taken into account to identify the reflection coefficient and transmission coefficient from the interface of the conductor. When you are identifying, the relationship is going to give us H is equal to Ei divided by eta 1, because the value of your characteristics impedance is defined as E divided by H is equal to eta. It is the value of your characteristics impedance. Similarly, if you identify it for incident wave and reflected wave of your magnetic field intensity, it is going to give the value Hi is equal to Ei divided by eta 1, Hr is equal to Er divided by eta 1. Likewise, you can identify the value of the reflection coefficient and transmission coefficient just by propagating the wave in either of the direction and making the direction to be similar for the propagation of your electric field and magnetic field intensity. Solving this, will be getting the answer of your expression as Er by Ei is equal to eta 2 minus eta 1 divided by eta 2 plus eta 1, where eta is known as your characteristics impedance of your wave propagation equation. Similarly, the transmitted wave and the incident wave ratio is written as Er divided by Ei, which is equal to 2 eta 2 divided by eta 2 plus eta 1. This is going to be the magnetic field expression by interchanging your eta 1 and eta 2 in the above expression. So far we have completed the wave propagation equation in good conducting medium, concept of your skin depth, and how to solve the problems. Everything has been discussed in this video. Thank you, students.